Imagine waking up tomorrow to find the world completely unrecognizable. The deserts where you once lived are now frozen wastelands. The poles have become scorching jungles, and cities that stood for centuries are swallowed by raging storms and oceans on the move. This isn't science fiction. This is what could happen if the Earth suddenly rotated 90 degrees. The Earth spins on its axis at a comfortable tilt of about 23.5 degrees. That tilt gives us seasons, climates, and the predictable rhythm of life we depend on. But what if, overnight, our planet tilted a full 90 degrees? In other words, the Earth would spin sideways, making the equator and the poles switch roles. The consequences would be nothing short of catastrophic. First, the sun. Right now, the equator gets the most direct sunlight, which is why it's hot and humid. Tilt the Earth 90 degrees, and suddenly the poles are pointing directly at the sun. Imagine Antarctica basking in permanent daylight, while regions near the equator, like Africa or South America, freeze under endless nights. Half the Earth would cook, the other half would shiver. Our entire climate system, the winds, ocean currents, and rainfall, would collapse into chaos. The tropics would vanish, monsoons would disappear, and farming cycles would be completely destroyed. Humanity's breadbaskets would wither, and famine would spread like wildfire. Water doesn't like change. Right now, centrifugal force from Earth's spin makes the oceans bulge slightly at the equator. If we tilted 90 degrees, the oceans would rush to the new equator, submerging entire continents in the process. Imagine New York, London, Tokyo, all underwater within weeks. Entire nations would vanish beneath the tide, while new coastlines would emerge in what are now frozen deserts. The Earth would be redrawing its map, and we'd be powerless to stop it. As the oceans relocated, the atmosphere would join the madness. Superstorms the size of continents would roar across the planet. Tornadoes, hurricanes, and blizzards would appear in places that never knew them before. The very air we breathe would become unpredictable. In this sideways Earth, safe zones might exist, but they'd be rare, temporary, and fought over by billions of desperate people. Civilization would fracture. Nations that once thrived in temperate climates would face collapse. Crops wouldn't grow where they used to. Water sources would vanish. Refugees would be forced to migrate in waves bigger than anything in history. Wars, famine, and disease would follow in their wake. Some scientists suggest humanity could adapt by moving to the new equator, where temperatures might remain livable. But could 8 billion people squeeze into narrow strips of land while the rest of the world become uninhabitable? Survival would come at the cost of constant struggle. And here's the real kicker. Ecosystems wouldn't just change, they'd die. Forests, coral reefs, tundras, grasslands, all destroyed in months or years. Species would vanish at an extinction rate the planet hasn't seen since the asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs. Earth would reset itself, but humans might not survive long enough to see what grows back. So, what if the Earth rotated 90 degrees? We wouldn't just get a different view of the stars, we'd get a planet that turns on us, rewriting the rules of survival. Life as we know it wouldn't adapt fast enough. The world would belong not to us, but to chaos. And maybe, just maybe, it's a reminder of how fragile our little blue planet really is. The tilt we take for granted is the very reason we're here at all. So the next time you look at the horizon, imagine it sideways. Would you fight to survive, or would you accept that Earth has dealt humanity its final twist?